would be amazing to make a Dogma sequel, because I've always had one in the back of my head since the moment we made Dogma. But here's where shit gets dark, and I told you all that fun stuff so that we can get to this horrible moment. Harvey Weinstein personally owns Dogma himself. I know. It's not like it's owned through a company that he owns. When Disney owned Miramax, during that 1999, the furor around the movie, Catholic League was upset, Disney made Harvey and Bob get rid of the movie. They're like, we want nothing to do with this movie, get rid of it. So Harvey and Bob, rather than sell it to another distributor, sold it to themselves and then licensed it for theatrical distribution to Lionsgate. At one point, we were the highest grossing Lionsgate movie ever until those sparkly fucking vampires showed up and shit. And then he licensed home video to Sony and stuff, and all those deals died a long time ago. That's why you can't find Dogma streaming or on home video and stuff, because the deals lapsed and nobody renewed them. And for years, man, nobody's fucking touched the movie. And then here's where shit gets fucking weirder. So I hadn't spoken to Harvey in like 10, 12 fucking years, right? After Zach and Miri, I left the Weinstein Company and kind of started just doing my own thing. And a week before the Me Too article broke in the New York Times that would expose Harvey and stuff like that, I got a phone call from Harvey for the first time in a decade. And I'll be honest with you, on that day, I was happy to hear from him. I was like, oh my God, he remembered. Like for a long time, I was like, didn't our movies mean anything? I know we're not Quentin, but didn't he care? Like fucking, they've gone on and shit like that. They've never reached back. I guess we didn't matter. Suddenly I get this phone call and I'm like, holy shit, Harvey's calling and shit. And he's like, how you doing? I said, good. He goes, we gotta do something about Dogma. He goes, you know, I got Dogma here, and then we should get it out in the world, maybe a new DVD. I said, yes, everybody's been asking me about that. A streaming version of it, like Twitter, I get hit all the time. Where's Dogma? Where's Dogma? That'd be great. Let's please do that. And he goes, and also what I'm thinking is like, that movie had a great cast. Might be time to make a sequel to that movie. And my heart leapt. I couldn't believe it. I was like, he's offering me a Dogma sequel? Oh my God, this is fucking amazing. I was like, that would be amazing. He goes, all right, let's start talking about it. I'll get back to you in a week, man. And he hung up and shit. A week later, the Me Too thing happened. And then that was where I learned who he was. Like, we all thought he was just a philanderer, you know, that was the word around campus, like he cheated on his wife and stuff, which is deplorable on some level, but like fucking not assault by any stretch of the imagination. You open up the New York Times and you suddenly read about a monster who is the guy that started my career. Without that monster, nobody buys Clerks, and you never meet me and shit like that. So I had really twisted feelings about it, and I felt fucking guilty and shit. John Gordon, who's a guy I worked with at Miramax, called me up, and you know, because the article broke, I was hearing from everybody back in the day, the Miramax people. So John's like, can you fucking believe this? I was like, I mean, it's unfucking, like, who knew, man? It's like Jekyll and fucking Hyde. And then I told John, I was like, I hate saying this, I feel weird saying this, but like, he called me last week. For the first time in a decade, he reached out and called me and shit, talked about doing a Dogma sequel. And John goes, he called me too. He called a lot of people because he knew this article was about to hit, and he was circling the wagons, and he wanted to find out who was a friend and who had already spoken to the New York Times. And so he was like, he used this, Kev. And you know, it's a bummer for me, but it's not the crime here. There are a lot of people that fucking got really hurt. My feelings got hurt. A lot of people got physically hurt, sexually assaulted and shit like that. So I'm not the fucking story, and I'm not bitching about ooh, boo-hoo me and stuff. I just didn't know who the fucking guy was, and then the day I learned by reading it and shit, I felt sick that I was talking to him about doing a Dogma sequel. So for the time being, there is no Dogma sequel. We are right now in the 20th anniversary year of the movie. It came out in '99, but we can't really celebrate it. We're doing Jay and Silent Bob reboot anyway, but there's no way to be like, hey, it's the 20th anniversary. We don't own the flick anymore. So for that reason, it's so fucking strange. You know, it's weird. My movie about angels is owned by the devil.